I'm a 6.
She's pointing out you.
Yeah, oh, I know she is. She should be ashamed of herself.
Yeah. Oh, I could put your hand around.
Yeah. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Look, now, my question to you is, if you encounter somebody for whom it does matter, why don't you take that person's feelings into account? What's the harm in it? What's the harm in opening a dialogue with somebody and saying, look, I've said something, I've offended you, I apologize. Let me know what I said and how I can make it better. Let's be people together.
Right, which is not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing, but that's what you're arguing about.
Because people take it too far, and because somebody got elected president, you have to have all these safe spaces and room where people can play with potatoes.
I work at a university. I've never heard of a safe space.
What university?
I've never heard of a safe space. It's none of your fucking business.
Well, I'm calling bullshit on it actually, because if you work at any university around here, you've definitely heard of safe spaces.
Well, let's roll this back a little bit. Let's roll this back a little
When
bit.
is a safe space? I've never heard that term on here.
Let's talk about.
We don't have something called a safe space. We don't have that. That's simply.
But every high school in Portland, every college in Portland, all have safe spaces.
No, they don't.
They don't? They're plastered all over their hallways. Did you not go to the teachers conference that had all the whole combat Trump? There were safe space signs all over the building.
Rather than argue whether or not there are safe spaces, let's ask this question.
That's called
What's
willful
wrong-
ignorance,
what's wrong
man.
with a
I
safe
hope to
space?
God you're not a teacher.
What's wrong with a safe space? Why shouldn't people have safe spaces? Rather than argue about
It's not a safe space.
A safe, hey, wait. A safe space is fine. A safe space is fine. But don't be telling other people that they can't talk.
Nobody does
Well,
that.
I don't think that you've heard me say
No, I'm just saying, but that's the whole concept of
In
this.
fact, I'm doing the opposite.
No,
I'm trying
right.
to have a dialogue with you. So,
Right, but
Because you don't agree with
that's
us.
the whole concept of
Just
all safe
because you don't
spaces,
agree
right?
with us.
You go into a safe space, people are allowed to put their opinion or else they get kicked out or beat up or whatever,
the
right?
safe space is about taking into account the fact that somebody might be triggered by. And look, I know you guys hate the word. I know you guys hate the word trigger. But let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about people who've had. Let's talk about people who've had. No, I'm not. You say I'm a skinhead.
I'm wearing camouflage boots.
No, you know what I am? I'm an American. I have American-made boots on, made in Portland, American-made jeans, and an American-made shirt, and an American-made jacket. That's what I am. America first.
I shouldn't cover this because I get a lot more vocal.
At the end of the day, Trump's the president. And we'll be for 8 years. And guys, on the point is no. We won. Stock market at an all-time.
So has that happened to you on a college campus? Have you been on a college campus? Because I work on one. I just want to ask. I work on one. I don't see. So give me an example. Give me an example. I work on a college campus. We have no such thing called a safe space.
There are other colleges. Maybe not the on yours, but other colleges.
Okay. Other colleges. But how do you? Well, we teach. Okay, listen to me. I teach college. We teach students to do research, to question what their sources are, to understand whether it's a reputable source or not. Everything you read on the internet is not necessarily a reputable source.
Please tell me what college you work at, because every college I went to, that was not the case.
Well, did you ever speak up and speak your mind?
Absolutely, and they've tried to fail me for it. I went to a critical thinking class, and I had a different opinion than the professor, and she failed me.
Well, then that person is not the way that a person is.
Talk about why you should be forced to pay for public education. I never heard that in my career. That's all I'm
Our state has funded. We are the 49th out of 50 in terms of the funding that we give to our
Why
university.
should I be forced to pay in my first place? Like, shouldn't I have
We
freedom
should
of
be free.
association?
It should
Like,
be
if I
free.
don't want to pay for public education, I should be forced to pay for it.
If I don't want to pay for roads, should I not be forced to pay for roads?
That's a fair
I
sentiment
mean,
too.
I don't understand that logic because it's the common good. We all give a little bit of money to provide.
You do know that we actually have a right to travel in this country, but not a right to education?
The same thing with police. All that's the common good. Hospitals, education. They're all part of the common good. Because instead of having individuals have to compete and have a marketplace for it, we provide all these things because it's something that's called public. That's what public is. Everybody together, everybody has a stake in it. We share this land, so we all have a stake in it, and we provide basic needs and services.
Fair and neutral. It's not arguing one way to the other.
I teach communication. I teach about diversity of thought. I teach about critical thinking and ethics and social responsibility. That's what our curriculum is.
But that's not an argument.
So-
The common good, that's not an argument.
The common good is subjective.
It's taking guns and
Well, we've
forcing
decided
against
this.
their will. No, I didn't decide this. I'm
I'm
sorry.
talking about our Constitution and like what different levels of government provide to people. So like providing libraries, roads, education. You don't think that's okay? That's something that
Well,
we
I
should all
would
pool our
find-
money together and provide.
Well, I would say through voluntary like taxation. That's the problem I have with this.
But you use all this stuff. I mean, you drive a car, you go on roads, the military protects you, the police protect you.
Yeah, those are all
You use
constitutional
emergency
things.
Services,
Yeah, because
right?
those are all
you got,
monopolies.
where did you go to school? Did you go to a public school? Were you
I was
educated
forced
in a
to go.
public? Okay, so
I was forced.
you were taught to read, write, think, do math, all that stuff in a public school, right? So, I mean, we all give money to it, just
No,
like
it's
Social
not giving.
Security, right?
Taxation's not giving.
It's money taken at the point of a gun.
If it's giving, then I'm
Nobody
not
puts
going to
the IRS doesn't come to my house with a
Yeah, you
loaded
go to
gun
jail.
and tell me that I have
Really,
to pay.
that's not
I
how
don't
Al
have
Capone
a-
went to prison, or Wesley
I don't
Snipes
have-
went to prison, or all these other people who
don't
didn't
have
pay
a
their
gun.
taxes.
Personally,
They go to
don't have
prison
a-
for it. That's a gun going to your house and taking you to jail.
But you get something for it. Don't you understand? You get something for paying taxes.
Slaves got health care, they got housing for being slaves. That's not voluntary.
That's because people's property. You can't compare paying taxes to slavery.
Yeah, I can, because the income tax is forcing you to pay for the government. When
No,
you
my
pay
income
income tax,
is about helping out my neighbors. I have no
Yeah, it's
problem
not
giving a
choice.
little bit of money. to
Can
help
you
my
can you show me
neighbors.
where in
I
the
have a problem
Constitution?
with that.
Can you show me where in the Constitution it says I need to pay for your health care? Or
You don't pay for my health care. I get health care from my employer.
good. Okay, what about their health care? I'm sure there's probably 3 or 4 people in here that don't have a job or health
Please
care.
not film me, 'cause I don't want to have a camera.
exactly, you're terrible.
Well, you got 3 cameras on you right now,
I don't
so.
want a camera. I want to
Yeah, I know
have a
exactly.
discussion.
Rob Paul was right. Before the big healthcare stage, people weren't dying in the streets. People were taken care of. You know.
Really?
Thank you,
They
Johnson.
were. Back in the 50s and 40s, yes, people were taken care of.
What was
Now
life
healthcare is
expectancy of people during the 1940s and 50s? What was life expectancy? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
so what? The
No,
technology's
no, it had
gotten
nothing to do
better.
with
Yeah.
mortality
Technology's gotten
rate.
way better.
Do you think government for technology and medications and all of that, does government do that? Did government give you medications or technology and stuff?
Yeah, government invests in research and development. You ever heard of the National Institutes of Health?
National Institutes of Health, but again, isn't it the free market and initiative that made it so we have new medicines and new technologies?
Universities so they can develop new medicines and stuff. That's part of what universities do. That's part of what government funding does. It's research and development. All that stuff is subsidized.
I care about the process.
So you don't want to help out your neighbor. You're all
I do.
about
But
yourself.
they're voluntary.
All
No,
about
see,
yourself,
that's garbage.
not about your neighbor.
You know, conservatives believe in helping our neighbor willingly, not it being stolen from us and then given to people who don't deserve it.
I can find
So
out.
do you think Trump is a conservative?
I don't think Trump is a conservative. I think Trump is a nationalist.
I mean, you're here as a media. I'm just curious. He doesn't have any of those values. That's not his values, right? The values that you say that you have as a conservative or libertarian, that's not the values that he has.
Well, so far he's doing a pretty good job of making that happen, though. Like, for instance, his changing of the ACA, making it so we can shop across state lines.
Nobody's changed that. That has to go through Congress. That
Correct,
hasn't
but
happened.
his plan to make that happen,
So you can shop across.
so we can shop across state lines, so I can pick my coverage, so I don't need maternity leave. I'm not having a kid. I don't need insurance that covers my breast exam.
I just paid $1,100 at Obamacare because me and my old lady don't have any insurance.
Right, right, and that sucks. And that's
My copay went up 112% this year.
I've taken lots of pay cuts at work because insurance is going through the roof the last 10 years.
It's called a scam.
You know?
It's an obvious scam. It's not even
Yeah,
one
we
you gotta
shouldn't
look
have
over.
insurance. Insurance should be something that's a right. I believe healthcare is a right for people. People should have a right to healthcare.
You do? Don't you already have a right to health care? If you go to an emergency room, well, they're going to tell you to go
If I
away.
don't have insurance, who pays for it? Everybody
Why
else
don't
that
you?
goes to that emergency
Why don't you
room.
pay for it? Why don't you make payments for it like I do? I haven't had insurance
I have
in years.
insurance. I have
Okay,
insurance.
but if you didn't have insurance, you don't get rejected from health care.
No, you are.
There's not an emergency room in this entire country that can
That's
turn
true,
you
but
away.
Listen to me for a minute. Who pays for it then? The hospital gets the bill. The person can't afford to pay for it. Everybody else who uses the hospital gets the bill. Your insurance
Okay.
rates go up. That's what ACA is about. No, the Oregon Health Plan is the fact But the ACA funds the Oregon Health Plan. There's been an expansion of the number of people, but it provides extra funding. We've had, this is the exchanges you're talking
Yeah, okay,
about.
but aren't the majority of the hospitals?
About how healthcare economics work.
Well, hold on. Aren't the majority of the hospitals here religious hospitals? Legacy, Providence, OHSU, all of those. Aren't they religious hospitals? Most of them are in the Portland area. They're religious hospitals, right? If you can't,
intimidated by tall men.
I can't even hear what everybody's saying to you because basketball players.
if you can't pay your hospital bill in any of these religious hospitals that we have around here, there's charities where people like us freely give
but
to help
that's not the
people.
only way that it happens. If people can't afford, like if you have, we had uninsurance rates of like somewhere between 20 and 30% in every single state. So those people, yes, if they needed emergency care, they got hit by a car, they went to an emergency room, that care was given, somebody else had to pay for it. It wasn't all through charity.
But that goes back to what he was saying. That goes back to what he was saying, though. People can willfully donate to these hospitals to pay for people's bills.
We're providing a little bit of subsidies so that people can have insurance, and insurance is paying for that now. So
that's being stolen from us, right?
No, it's kind of, well, there's some subsidy from the government, so yes, some of your tax dollars go for it, but that's not, but when you were paying for it anyway through your insurance rates before that.
But do you understand when you get the
There's a difference
were going up.
signing a contract that they're going to say, oh, we're going to make you pay for this.
You had no control over what your insurance rate was.
Yeah, but once you set a precedent to start having everybody pay for everybody's stuff.
But the problem with the thing is that
Guys, choose one. You guys are all having a conversation with one person, so you guys want to talk. I know, but it's difficult to follow anything. I mean, you guys are talking about healthcare. I can understand that, but it's like 4 against 1. And I know it doesn't bother you, but it's not really effective either. It's like you guys want to have an effective conversation where you swap ideas and positions, and but with all of you talking at the same time, she's not going to be able to. She's trying to nail each other.
The biggest problem I have with Trump, and that's the way in which he's treating people who are immigrants in this country. I think it's just inhumane and completely cruel that you would pull a father out of the car after they had just dropped their child off at school, and that you would take that person and hold them in prison and say that you're going to deport them. I just think it's completely ridiculous, and I think it's inhumane, and I just think it's unconscionable what's happening. And all these, immigrants commit crimes at a much lower rate. If you want to talk about who commits crimes at the highest rate, we're talking about the people who commit crimes at the highest rate in terms of sexual assault. You're talking about frat boys. They have some of the highest, most disproportionate rates.
I've heard that one.
No, it's not white males necessarily. It's
77% of the population is white, especially
not necessarily, but whatever. I mean, I'm just saying. So why don't you're lumping a group? You're taking an example of like 1 or 2 incidents that have happened, and you're hitting that on an entire group of people. That's called scapegoating.
By population size, illegal immigrants hold way more cells than whites, blacks, Asians, anybody else. Prison cells.
I would argue, why aren't they being?
It's an absolute
why aren't they
fact.
being deported then? Why aren't they going back to their country?